This video is the second playing of the glass bead game, in which we talked about in the last video how you synthesize um, all of the various disciplines of science and religion and mathematics and music to create your own reality. And um, uh, the art of that, the creative art of that. So in this second one, what I wanted to do is I attempted to put words down on the board that I haven't put on one of my many videos in the past, to try to come up with um, different words and possibly some different ideas and see where this leads. And then also I have a new concept that I put down here that I want to finish this up with. So Magister Ludi, again, is master of the game. You are the master of your game, your glass bead game. Um, and so just going down some of these words, indeterminate is a word I haven't had on here that I can remember. And basically, what that includes is freedom and chance, and specifically artistic freedom, that you have the freedom to create your own reality as you see fit. And this is outside of society. This is outside of ridicule and blame and negativity. So you have complete freedom to explore and create your own reality and learn and and pursue uh, deep philosophical truths of the universe, which Zen and the Tao, the Eastern way of thinking and religions, is the study of the self and reality. So this is a forum in which I pursue the glass bead game and continue to dig deeper into this and experience and enjoy um, um, studying this. I put a word on here, voodoo. I couldn't think of any other words. You know, we've talked about religion and mysticism and so forth. And in a way, this is this uh, cult, what some people might term satanic um, thinking or uh, anti-God or whatever. So it's almost like a voodoo to the outside world of what this would all be about, especially in the traditional Western way of thinking. So I thought voodoo was kind of a funny word to put up there. Holy Mass. Again, we've talked about Holy Mass and ceremony. We've talked about upon death you die. So every moment, every day is extremely important. So really, you need to live your life as if it was a holy mass and a ceremony each and every single day, of where you're experiencing and enjoying it and and making it a ceremony each single day. Um, you don't know if you're going to die tomorrow. You don't know if you're going to die in 25 years. So that if you live your life in this way, you'll never look back and say, boy, I wish I would have done something different. Symphony. Again, this all ties together. Just we're part of this grand symphony, um, tying back to uh, the string theory and the vibrations, and how Hermann Hesse in the glass bead game, the book itself, tied together the study of mathematics with music, and how the scales are all kind of mathematical and in harmony. And so really the universe is this grand symphony that we're all part of. Destruction, just a word I just threw out there. We are destructing each day. We are creeping towards our death. We are decaying. And so that just is a fact. We're going to die. So um, you don't want to be morbid and you don't want to be negative, but that's a reality. And if you realize that, you go back to the importance of every single day, and that you need to live it as a ceremonial act. Bliss, a word I haven't put up here that I can remember. Again, this is that nirvana. This is that higher state of consciousness that I think Andre Gregory talked about, Alan Watts talked about, obviously, all the time. And just that bliss, that higher state of consciousness where you are, I put a word up here, I thought, confidence. Did I put the word up? Yes, confidence. Where you are 100% confident that this is the way to live your life in this deep philosophical glass bead game, this wonderful pursuit and experience of talking about and understanding all of these great principles. Not that you could ever know bottom line truth um, that we can understand at this time, um, but the journey all along the path, if you think of that in just a blissful way. Artistic freedom, I can't stress this enough, makes every day new and fresh, and the creativity of creating your glass bead game, your life, your reality, your views on existence, and so forth. This is a grand experiment, even a thought experiment of um, not everything is right, not everything might make sense. You might spell a word wrong. You might uh, uh, have the improper thought about something that you later say, no, I don't believe that anymore, and I think it's something else. So this is this, like Einstein had those thought experiments, which allowed him to um, create his theories that changed the world to a great extent. Um, Thought itself, just that it transcends um, reality. Yes, there are brainwaves within, and that's matter, within our world of time and space and matter. But this, and that's all divisible and destructible, um, the way Rene Descartes talked about in his mind-body problem. But it's the thought that's even above the brain waves. The thought itself, the uniqueness of thought and the mind, which is some way indestructible outside of matter, potentially, is really something that's fascinating to me. And um, we know that all matter is destructible through an infinite regress. And in Rene Descartes' mind-body problem, he talked about the mind being indestructible, thought itself. And I just think that is so awesome if that's really the way it is. That gives it a potential for eternal existence, possibly. Destination, we use the word destiny so many times. Destination, your ultimate destination on this earth is destruction, is death, unfortunately. Um, so we talk about the parody of dancing a lot. There is no destination in a dance. It's not where the last step ends, but the joy of the entire act. So to live your life in a ceremonial way, without the um, thought of the destination to it, may add to relief of stress and bliss and just the enjoyment of every single day. So it's the route. that you take, just again trying to pick new words in the glass bead game here. Words. This ties back to discreteness and concept and the way that we view the world. We cannot think of a word without also thinking of, okay, this is the computer. So we are always thinking in this discrete way, and this always limits um, our thinking. So language is extremely important, the way we communicate, but it's also limiting as well. So we're always trying to break out of limits in this glass bead game world, and words themselves can limit. The planes that you live on, uh, your existence. Uh, this has so much to do with almost the power of positive thinking, um, by Norman Vincent Peale, a name that we haven't mentioned before. It's so true that if you have your mind right, uh, outside of negativity and limits and criticism and so forth, that this plane that you can live on right here can just be a completely different reality, let alone getting into what Lisa Randall talks about, and Hugh Everett and Bryce DeWitt, about just different dimensions, that may be other planes out there that we're going to discover and experience potentially in the future, that'll break out of this three-dimensional space-time world that we live in. I put a word here, bravado. I couldn't think of anything else. Just the joy of this, the confidence, the pride of this, the cockiness of this. Uh, just, you're right with when you're in the glass bead game, that it couldn't be any other way. Um, if you really wanted to live your life to the highest. Again, I pursue these deeply philosophical pursuits, but the glass bead game can be anything. It can be anything you pick. There are no rules. So again, the confidence and reaching towards that pinnacle. I a lot of times think in terms of mathematical and getting into Zeno and the pinnacle. And there was a concept I've never talked about before, and I wanted to talk about. If we say that the world is deterministic, that there's cause and effect in the major part of the world, as Newton proved, there's a catch to this relating to Zeno's paradox that is really amazing. When we say the world is billiard balls, if this is going to collide into this, at what point right there does that collision actually occur? According to Zeno's paradoxes, that collision can never actually occur. You can approach the limit of it, but you can never quite reach it. So if that's a logical mathematical fact, and it is proven through calculus, how can this billiard ball collide with this and create this to have motion? So there's another example of a paradox that doesn't seem to make sense, as F.H. Bradley talked about in his Appearance and Reality, trying to get away from paradox and absolute truth. Well, on the one hand, we have science, calculus, that says you can't get to this point, but then in the real world, the observable world, we know this billiard ball does collide with that. So there is that paradox and contradiction. So that doesn't even make sense. Beyond even that is not something physical like this, but when you talk about cause and effect, of if you were going to have a thought 5 minutes from now, is that really a free thought that you're going to have? Or is that also part of this cause and effect world from the very beginning? If there was a creation, doesn't every future event have a cause? So if that's the case, from the very beginning of creation to even now 5 minutes from now, I'm going to have a thought. Is that really a free thought? So I believe it is, and that's why I think that there cannot be a first creation. There must be an eternal existence, because otherwise we're stuck in that deterministic cause and effect world. And we want to strive towards the glass bead game, artistic freedom,